What is up, everyone? It is Lovenji Gaming, and we are here with Populous The Beginning's Invisible Cup, the tournament where we actually hide the identities of its participants from one another. We are here in the quarterfinals. This is actually the second match of the quarterfinals. Playing as the yellow tribe in the green base. It is PopTB Convert. His opponent, and the person that picked this map, giving us some good games up to this point. Playing as the red tribe, yellow position, Tornado. So, pretty straightforward. We're here, we're on walls. It's walls. We're going to be seeing both players convert and build for the early game, as is very typical for them. So this map was Tornado's pick. Tornado obviously played all of his games up through this point. Convert a little bit controversial. Convert showed up an hour late to his first game because of a time error mix-up. And then got a bye in his second game because his opponent didn't show up on time. So people are still very uncertain about Convert and about Convert's skills. Very up and down, umming and ahhing as to who Convert might be, because we haven't seen him play that much. Meanwhile, Tornado, lots of guesses have come in for who Tornado might be. Whether they're accurate or not, you'll find out at the end of the tournament. Remember, guys, the grand finals for this tournament are occurring live on Twitch on the 24th of July, and including the grand finals, which will have our two finalists fighting for $250 and $300 respectively for second and first place. There will also be the reveal. The reveal will be done on the same stream at the end of the tournament. We will also reveal the identities of all of the players, as well as reveal what I've called the community guesses, which is a majority vote on who the player is at each stage of the tournament. Which is great, because I've been putting it in already, and one of the amazing things is that one of our players, I won't tell you who, they've changed identity 3 times. They played 3 sets and they've changed identity every set. So that's lots of fun. It's good to see that some of the guesses haven't just been, oh, that's Key 52. So, anyway, I've filled the boring bit of 4 walls, I think, with a little bit of yammering and jabbering. We're now looking into the stage where the players might decide to do something. Red player, Tornado's got a lightning already in the chamber. Yellow player not charging anything at all, which probably means they're going for an earthquake. Earthquake's a little bit slower to load than a lightning because it's much more expensive. We're going to hope I don't get the colours mixed up anywhere near as much as I did in the first quarterfinal. That was a bit diabolical, I've got to be honest. But it's looking good. I always like this. I know not everyone does this. In fact, not even I do this. The tower at the back of the base, giving you all of these extra huts to go down very quickly. You don't have to wait for the row of huts to be built. It's a clever little step. The red player doesn't seem to have overcommitted to the secondary base, rather just securing the middle and the main base first. Even going so far as to build the side defense, which I always like seeing players do. I also like the way that red has built the base. You can see that red has built in this grid style manner, but has left these huts out. Some players like to put these huts in nice and early, but by leaving these huts out, these trees remain available for harvesting. Whereas if you want to put the huts there, they get cut down. Lots of trees available for our players on 4 walls, but the little differences do help. We've got a dismantling error here, as our red player does lose one of the huts. perhaps did it on purpose. We'll see based on how they take their next steps going forward. Double warrior training hut coming out for red. The response from yellow appears minimal. Only one warrior training hut from yellow. And yellow's really expanding outwards towards the other base. Population's 49 to 45, with despite yellow building in the second base, red has actually pulled ahead, so it does just look like red is building faster. Hasn't finished the main base yet. Hasn't even started the side base, which is good for red. It means red's population is more focused within a single point. Easier to protect and defend. We can see our red shaman has a strategy in mind, and that strategy is a lot of warriors and a lot of lightnings. And there's the lightning, waits for, very well timed from our red player, times it to the fire warrior shot. When a shaman gets shot by a fire warrior, she does this little hop thing in which she doesn't transition the tile if she tries to cancel it by blasting. And that basically guarantees you a free strike with lightning. And that's what we get out of our red shaman here, who is now going to bring the warriors to the front line. Yellow does have warriors of their own. Going to be spreading out amongst the yellow base. Now, yellow appears to have taken the lead in terms of maximum population, but the actual population's still quite even as we get a front line earthquake from our red shaman, actually doing great on getting a couple of those towers and a hut, burning down some of the fire warriors. Honestly, I think red would have liked it to get the warriors, but it certainly didn't. In this instance, yellow was very quick to pull the warriors back. It's a smart little bit of gameplay from our yellow shaman. Red's still got two lightnings, so yellow does have to be careful as the ghosts come down to distract. We can see that there are no lightnings for yellow. Good blast trick from the yellow shaman. The follow-up blasts are good, and both shamans actually do go down with assistance from the fire warriors. Red shaman taken down by the armada of fire warriors over here, and a nice cheeky little volley from this guy. Hero fire warrior earns himself some veteran. See if this was Command and Conquer. Don't worry, it's not. That fire warrior. As you can see, there's a lot of active dismantling going on for our red shaman player. Don't know if the base is quite finished. That might be a hut, it might not. It might require some tower finagling. There's definitely a hut around here. Look how many warriors. We've got 9 warriors for red shaman already. As many warriors as he has fire warriors. Yellow only with a 7 hut lead over red, despite immediately rushing the second base. It's been very slow to actually build it up. A little exchange of lightning there as the yellow shaman fails to find the target. She throws down a second one. Don't know what tile she's aiming at, but don't worry, red didn't do any better. Both shamans missing their lightnings. And it looks like we're going to see a side door out of red. Red has plenty of land bridges, charging barely any destructive spells, just lightnings and land bridges. We talked about this early on in the tournament. It's great to just open up this path so that warriors can run all over it. Oh, what a beautiful little cancel with the land bridge there to keep the shaman alive. The lightnings aren't good, but the blasts. If you fail with lightning, just use blast. Both shamans trading even once again. And the max pop's dead even, but red's dismantling. We've seen him been doing it all game. Accidentally dismantled an entire hut over here. We've seen him dismantle all game, and his pop is climbing. He is getting further and further ahead of our yellow player. Yellow shaman does respawn. We're seeing what she does. Does she do this? No, she's just going to walk straight back to the front line. She's not going to do the land bridge to make the path easier quite yet. She's holding on to 2 land bridges, which indicates she probably wants to try and do a side door. the problem is there's barely anything over here for her to side door. And here's got side door defense. So you're kind of screwed either way. But nice place light from our yellow shaman, but unfortunately red manages to get a good counter light as well. Yellow shaman saying FFS, which is a populous acronym for funny flying shamans. No, it's not, but I'm not allowed to say what it is for the purposes of YouTube. You all know what FFS stands for. It's not funny flying shamans. So, as you can see, yellow has built out a lot of both bases now. We can even see some upgrading in as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 large huts hiding amongst that base. But red, look at this. Almost the entire base fully upgraded. Middle path not upgraded at all, but that's okay because those are vulnerable. And already starting to build over in the secondary base, even getting a second Fire Warrior training hut over there as well, just in case the worst happens. And we're going back into the world just in time to see a little bit of a Shaman duel. Both Shamans absolutely awful with their lights. Oh, red almost goes for a swim. Gets out of there just in time as yellow picks him up with the tornado, but the tornado wants a second round. Shaman definitely dodging out the way there. Beautiful moves from our red player. Going to be avoiding that tornado. Lightning connects with the yellow shaman. Beautifully done by our red player. Going to be pouring forward with the troops now. As they separate themselves. Fire Warrior in tower going to fire a volley before the swarm does get him out of there, send him running, and look at this, the red swarm. And that's the swarm of warriors, not the swarm spell. Going to be pouring into the yellow base, and yellow just does not have the troops in position to not take a lot of damage from this. Fire Warriors going to be firing on the shaman. The shaman's priority appeared to be the tower. It looks like she's actually going to be able to stay alive as well. The red shaman's still alive as even Fire Warriors are coming along for this assault. The yellow shaman, not feeling confident, isn't launching a counterattack, but is instead going to try to defend this base. Lightning from the red shaman does not find the yellow shaman, but it does get some of the warriors. Swarm onto the warriors with a follow-up earthquake as well is going to put our yellow player on a very big back foot. This population is 125 out of 85. Out of 185. 102 out of 187. Does look like yellow has brought enough warriors. Going to be able to clean up these troops, but the yellow shaman is stuck. Manages to get herself unstuck there. Very good use of the land bridge. When you're stuck like that, you have a few options. Something kills you. You unstick yourself with a land-altering spell, or you can pick yourself up with a tornado as well. So, last of the red warriors going to be cleaned up by the yellow warriors. There's still red fire warriors in this base, being annoying. Yellow shaman just falls into a hole. These fire warriors are just, they're being so annoying. I'd be swearing up a storm. I would be swearing up a storm at these fire warriors. Nice shot from the yellow shaman. Getting a kill onto red as red tries to keep the pressure up. But look, there's still a red warrior at the back of this base. And even more red warriors are going over. And yellow shaman's going to have to turn around to defend or just accept that that base is going to die. Lightning coming down, as well as a couple of ghost armies and a swarm. Third ghost army down for our yellow shaman as the push is real. Going to be earthquaking the front row of towers. Going to get behind these towers. It should do a good amount of damage. No, never mind. This tower's sort of levitating. as it waits for the ground to even itself out. Yellow does have another earthquake available and a firestorm, so yellow has been doing what we call the standard populous play of charge the spells, but red's been playing a lot more aggressively with troops. Now, red did just die there. And actually, the populations are a lot more even than I initially gave yellow credit for. It's only 122 to 131. Yellow's sporting 20 pop more in terms of green bar, and has access to some pretty devastating spells. Earthquake coming down for our yellow shaman. Gonna be doing extra damage, but look, this right here just says build towers on me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Just get loads of towers. Don't even care how many. Just full towers. Go for it. So I was going to give a strong advantage to our red player being Tornado, but I do think that Convert has done a series of good shaman kills to be able to make this game reasonably competitive once again. But these red warriors are relentless. They continue to pour into the yellow base just over and over again. Swarm coming out for our red player, gonna frighten a couple of those fire warriors away. Red does have double earthquake in the chamber, so red is charging spells as well. We complimented yellow for having the firestorm, but even though red's been heavy on warriors, he's still got the double earthquake, just doesn't have that firestorm. Red seeing stars has to be careful about taking this shaman duel. And we get a little bit of a repeat of the same as both shamans go down. Red's gonna need a lot more warriors if he wants to troop yellow out of this game, but look at the maximum populations already. We could be in for a long game for this one. Normally these games end quite quickly, these Wolves games, because one player just falls more and more and more behind. But this is very competitive at the moment. Both players staying relatively close to each other in terms of population, despite taking completely divergent strategies, you know. Red went heavy lights into aggressive trooping. Yellow went for traditional, I'm going to get all the spells on my shaman. And we're here 18 minutes into this game without a clear winner. Yellow hasn't even finished building up the secondary base, but neither has red. Red's actually working on that now. Oh, red's still alive. The lightning's missed. The second lightning doesn't, though. Manages to get the kill. What are the shaman deaths for our red player? We're looking at 8 shaman deaths to 6. Is these yellow warriors going to pour in? We're getting the side from yellow here. Yellow's coming at it at a bit of a weird angle, though. I think doing it from there is going to make it 3 land bridges, not 2. Might be able to reach that. I don't think he can reach that. He's got to do a second one, I think. No, he can reach over here. Never mind. Look at all those fire warriors. You can see them in the huts. You can see them in the towers. Do they get shift-clicked onto the shaman as yellow shaman uses her entire arsenal of lights? There's the firestorm on nothing. And a couple of huts. I don't understand why, if you were to clear all these towers with lightnings, why you would then firestorm. I don't get it. But, as you can see, none of these towers on the side had been filled. Yellow's very quick about getting them filled. In fact, the 4-5 was going to make it there in time. We're seeing plenty of ghosts coming out. Earthquake to cast behind the front row of towers. We'll see what it does. Good amount of damage there. Oh, yellow turns around and manages to get a kill onto the red shaman. Where did all those yellow warriors go? I could have sworn yellow had an armada of warriors, but I can tell by the count that they've all died. I don't know where. Red must have found a way. Or they all died in yellow's own firestorm. I don't know. But yeah, that firestorm got all of 2 huts. Pretty wasteful for a firestorm, if you ask me. Population's 142 out of 233, 256, 253 out of 221. Haha! This is why you don't earthquake defense. Look at that. Landbridge coming out from red. Probably going to see a second Landbridge after this one. Just to make that path a bit more traversable. You can see what red has done is made it so that there isn't a little divot here, because the way that was working was Shaman would go down onto lower ground here and then back up to high ground here, and that could be important in a Shaman duel much later on. Lightning from the red Shaman going to get a kill on a good amount of yellow warriors, but then tries to take on a yellow warrior in a fist fight. That's not going to go his way. Looks like red Shaman's just going to try to slip past the yellow Shaman, applying a little bit of pressure as yellow tried to get into a tower but was stopped. Oh, red turning around for the challenge. Red is basically calling yellow out and wins the Shaman duel there. Very well played from our red Shaman, but look at this as a yellow run by. Plenty of warriors, fire warriors in these huts, going to help these Braves secure a win without too many losses. Got to see what Red's doing. Red's not managed to move his Shaman at all from this spot, just because of the sheer amount of Braves being thrown at him. The Shaman's just getting pushed around all over the place. So it looks like yellow's warrior run by has been cleaned up. 145, 146 to 155. So the population still breakneck even, but red's starting to get the big spells. As this population gets higher and higher, red sporting a firestorm of his own. We'll see if red uses it a little bit better than yellow did. Yellow's firestorm really didn't like. Put so much effort into clearing all those towers. Oh, what a nice little blast trick there from the red Shaman. Oh, the red Shaman is casting spells like you would not believe. Actually going to go for a long side. Fire Warrior gets back into a tower. Dizzying Fire Warrior. Oh, I think the red Shaman does go down there. Unfortunate for the red Shaman. Yellow Shaman going to be launching a counterattack. Double Earthquake and Firestorm in the chamber could be the first damaging attack. Oh! Those Fire Warriors in those towers got a cheeky little shot off there. Yellow Shaman's going to be getting into this secondary base. Double Earthquake comes down for our Yellow Shaman, going to get 2 huts. 1 hut, 2, 3, 4. Good amount of damage, not the end of the world. But it's certainly something that red's going to be feeling in the long run, as yellow's maximum population gets to run away with it. But look at this, red launching a counterattack. If red gets a good attack in here, red could potentially even the score or pull ahead. The yellow Shaman is catching up to the red Shaman. The red Shaman does have to be careful. Actually, red Shaman's getting into a fist fight with a bunch of Braves. Makes it easy for yellow to get the lightning, but I think yellow died getting that lightning. So once again, we're back at square one. Yellow's defense starting to look a little thin for the main base. But as we can see, these yellow warriors here, we saw them enter the red base, but we didn't really watch them because we were watching red's counterattack. They're going to get a lot done. There's a lot of them here. Red warriors are marching on in. They're going to try and have their say, try and get their revenge. Could have put some towers down here. Could our red player? You know, you're not going to put huts there, so why not towers? He's doing it now. The trickle of warriors is almost endless. Now, it appears that red has identified that not only is the trickle of warriors endless, but they're all coming from one base. There is 2 warrior training huts over here, but of yellow's 5 warrior training huts, they're almost all in this base. There's still a fire warrior in that tower, and red has to be mindful of that. Oh, the fire warrior actually does get taken out. Nice deep earthquakes from our red shaman onto the secondary base. It doesn't look like he's going to get any of the warrior training huts for his troubles, but at least he's answering back with a little bit of damage. Meanwhile, the large swarm of yellow warriors over here just taking out more and more huts. But it's another swing. The max pop is actually in favour of our red player, as is the population, despite red looking battered and bruised from the state of this base. Red is in amongst all these warrior training huts and actually manages to get a great shaman lightning and follow-up blast onto the yellow shaman. Probably going to get enough mana to place an earthquake right here and hope it cuts the right way. Red's not even watching his shaman. He might just get pushed into the water by this fire warrior. He does. There he goes. Look at these warriors. They're still just running around unchecked. Being incredibly annoying. Red does need to do something about them. Red only has the 3 warrior training huts, so behind by 2. So it looks like we thought this big damage might spell the end of red, but red has looked for yet another path to answer back. And actually, it's dead even on maximum population right now. Yellow does have more huts that yellow can repair, but that's just interesting to tell you just how competitive this match has been, as the populations are still almost dead even on max population and only a 10 difference in actual population. Red does need to do something about these warriors. These warriors have got way more damage than they deserved to get. Red might have just accepted that this base is a goner and is going to launch even more counter attacks onto yellow. I don't know what yellow's hoping to do. Yellow's shaman going over here. What are you going to do in this base? It's gone. It's dead. It's finished. It's kaput. Like, that base is done. Go over here. Over here. Lots of towers, but that's where you got to go. Earthquake comes down for our red shaman. We'll see what amount of damage it gets to do. That's annoying. Red shaman going to sneak up around the back and then roll into the water again. So here we go. Going to be seeing the side from our yellow player onto the main of red. But look how many towers are here. You're just going to get an earthquake cast here. I don't even need to watch this to know what's going to happen. Let's see. Oh, cast the earthquake on the towers. And this is either going to be the greatest earthquake in the world or do bugger all. It's really kind of done bugger all, to be honest, because now this is just even more towers. These warriors just sat in the red base, doing absolutely nothing. So the counter-attack of warriors from our red shaman, doing a good amount of damage. Yellow is ahead in terms of maximum population, because yellow still has retained control of most of this base. These warriors being given a couple of extra orders as a shaman duel commences. Look at all these ghosts. Whoa! Nice lightning from yellow, fails to find the kill onto the red shaman. Red shaman starts to dance backwards and forwards, looking for an angle to hit the yellow shaman with a lightning. These red warriors, there's so many of them, they're going to completely get this base if they're controlled. Or at the very least, they're going to force yellow to pull these warriors back. Oh, we watch the tail end of that lightning duel in which both shamans just S-click each other for maximum effect. As much as I make fun of S-clicks, I actually played a match on a map with S-clicks completely disabled, and I hated every second of it, I'm telling you. So here we go. These warriors that have been left unanswered are once again going to be annoying. There's so many of them. They'll tear down that hut in no time at all. Look how quickly that health bar goes down. They're going to do it again here. And this is a large hut. No, I don't like it. Make it stop. Please make it stop. Look at that large hut. Disappear. And the maximum population with it. Come on, Red Shaman. They're right here. You can deal with these now. They're not even out your way. Oh my goodness. Red Shaman's desire to ignore these warriors is just so frustrating. Oh, nice save with the land bridge. We caught the tail end of that with Red getting pushed into the water by the lightning, and then the land bridge save coming in. Looks like those yellow warriors are finally going to be stopped. Red base is vulnerable. These towers are not filled. The yellow shaman's going to try to push in here. Yellow warriors were left unguarded. The warrior count is very important, so it's currently 13 to 16. Despite yellow, and this has been the story for most of the game, despite yellow having a higher max pop, Red has still barely got the population lead. This game is still neck and neck. Back and forth trading. Just getting blasting of troops going on over here for our red player. Lightning coming down for our yellow shaman. It looks like she's finally going to try to push into this base. What spells does she have? She's got double earthquake. There's one. She's got to find the other one before she gets shot again. There's the second one. Fire warriors do get their shots off. This fire warrior is more interested in ghosts than a shaman. It's fantastic. Red's main being affected, and this is the first time now where it's really looking like our red shaman is probably going to lose this game. All of this base is healed almost, so Red could start building back over here, but the max population tells a story, and that story is one of danger for our red player. Haha! I liked the idea of the cheeky little side from our red shaman to go into the main base from around here where all the towers are not, but the fire warriors on the high ground, they get the last laugh. Into the water, they say. So we're watching the tail end of this warrior engagement here. It looks like they're finally going to get cleaned up. Yellow's got barely anything of a second at base left, but neither does Red, and in fact Red's taken a bit of a pounding into the main base. Neither player has expanded, and you're probably thinking, well, that's because they've got the whole map, but you know, the standard expand here gives you such a bigger breadth of space in your main base for very little defensive risk. It's probably still worth doing when you played 33 minutes of 4 walls, even if you can build in this base. This is a bit more defensible if you were to just land bridge down here and get some extra huts. Remember, there's no population limit. There's no such thing as too many huts. No such thing as too much pop. It's all an advantage that you can use. All these warriors pretty badly separated. They're actually all in fact grouped up. It looks like Red Shaman is struggling to deal with the pressure of fire warriors from multiple angles. She continues to get bullied by the yellow fire warriors, but this large entourage of red warriors actually pouring in. Red's taken a big gamble. If you look at the population on the left hand side, you can see only 49 of Red's population are Braves right now, which means Red's mana income is absolutely... Oh, what a lightning from yellow. Red's mana income is absolutely awful, but what Red has is just so many troops. Yellow only has 5 warriors. Red's got 24. Warriors separating themselves. Yellow has lost control of the second base. Yellow has lost control of the middle. For like the 3rd time this game, who is winning has actually swung around. I think Red has an opportunity to be in a dominant position again. Red needs to take the fact that Yellow's going to spend time cleaning up all of these troops. Red needs to take this and just start building. Build here, build here, build here, build here, build here, build here. Just build everywhere, man. Put hut plans down. Just put them down. The sheer number of warriors for our red player is getting a bit overwhelming. You can see them spreading out everywhere and getting so much damage in on our yellow player. Red's still at 23 warriors. There's just so many of them. And they're all spread out nicely. Look at these individual groups of one marching on in. Some of them are getting softened up by the shaman as they go on in. Red's even patrolling some fire warriors around the shaman. A little bit of anti-troop defense there. Stop braves getting in on your shaman and being annoying. It's like a little anti-brave shield. Can make you a little bit easier to S-click. I've found when you've got fire warriors patrolling around you on the same tile, you can be a little bit S-clickable. So we have a few empty towers for red, but look at this. Red is doing okay. Despite the hole in his... I don't know what he's earthquaking here. Oh, it's yellow side, so that's a pretty decent earthquake. You know, despite the damage that red has taken, he's building tower... He's doing what I love. He's building towers anywhere there's a spot for a tower. That's what I love. Fill that empty space in your base with towers, because it's... At the worst, it's... at the very worst... It's going to help, you know? Well, no, at the very worst, it does nothing. And at the best, if an enemy shaman gets in here, she's got 4 more towers to deal with. Like, it's just... Fill the space base with towers. I like it, guys. Look at Red, playing Siege Commander here, just throwing blast down onto this warrior training hut. I think he's trying to kill the fire warriors with proximity blasting. I don't think it's actually about the warrior training hut. There we go, land bridge from yellow, starting to connect this base up. Perhaps a little bit of a challenge as red drops to 9 warriors, but yellow's still only got 3. Yellow put all the warrior training huts in this area and is sort of paying the price for it. This one's only just been repaired, and this one's the only one that's actively been pumping out warriors right now. Swarm coming out from our yellow shaman onto the fire warriors on the high ground. Gonna clear them up. Look at this! Red's building towers in what would be yellow's base, or yellow's secondary base. Very nice, aggressive move. Bringing the Braves forward, making sure you build. Claim this land for yourself. I like the idea in principle. We'll see if it works in execution. This is a big, dangerous move from Red. Red Shaman is still alive, but look at this. These Fire Warriors are coming to support. And that's great and all, but they were in the towers. Look how many towers are now emptied now that the frontline Fire Warriors have been pulled in. And they're all just getting shot by the towers, so they're not doing terribly much. But they are going to get into these towers and be very, very annoying as a result. As the Yellow Shaman sees an opportunity. This is clever. I like this from our Yellow Shaman. Smart. I think Yellow has the mana to do it. Oh no, Yellow doesn't really have the mana to do it quickly. Red is probably... Oh, Red. Notice Red. Oh. Oh dear. Oh dear. So our Red Shaman has respawned and is going to ignore the back door. That thing that I was saying about Yellow is Yellow didn't quite have the mana in place to be able to backdoor before Red could really respond and be in position. So our Red Shaman is instead going to trade. I'm sure Red sees it. It's not like Red to not notice the black backdoor, given how well Red has been playing thus far. Earthquake onto the towers, and all these fireworks going to get clicked forward as well. The combination of Earthquake and Firestorm going to make sure most of that population goes down. We're going to be seeing what goes on next, as there is absolutely nothing in this base to defend against the back door. Now, Yellow only has double Earthquake. Red has done a number on Yellow's defense. The main base is actually completely exposed. Yellow up to 21 warriors. Red only at 1. Yellow Shaman kills herself with a tornado as the red Shaman appears to be doing nothing. Oh, there we go. There's some blast coming out from the red Shaman. The 21 warriors are going to be the problem, though. Look at this. They are coming. Oh, Lord, they coming. So, our red Shaman going to be doing the dance with a couple of fire warriors and warriors. Red has taken control of this area, but not by much. Red's main base is probably going to fall to the influx of warriors. Red just might die here. Red looks like Red is going to get bullied by the fire warriors and goes down. That's just the worst thing that could possibly happen for Red right now. Population 79 to 120. I think that backdoor... I was convinced that the backdoor was going to cost Yellow the game because Red was going to respawn, Red would have been able to deal with it, and then this would have been another path that Red could have used later on in the game when Red was prepared. But Red has died 2 times in a row to just silly things and just didn't see the backdoor. I'm very surprised that Red didn't see it, or that Red chose to ignore it. And Red's going to be paying the price for that. He's now going to deal with warriors back here, while the Shaman can now start to push into the front. And remember that thing we called out earlier? All these towers are now empty because they were pulled in over here to fill these 3 over here, of which only 2 actually got filled. But look at this, our red Shaman. Perhaps willingly throwing the game now. Red recognizes GG and just doesn't want to surrender. Red Shaman's just going to walk into Yellow's base, throw down a deep earthquake and leave. 59 population to 108 with warriors just absolutely massacring. Yellow's going to get into what remains of Red base. Look at all those fire warriors just queued up to fight Shaman. Don't do that. But they do get the kill on the red Shaman, but they do all get blasted for their troubles. I think the sheer amount of warriors that Yellow has is going to close this game now. It's just a matter of time until we see the GG get called, and Yellow will be our victor. That is Pop TB Convert taking the first victory. I just elbowed something off of my desk and I'm not entirely sure what it was. Fire Warrior Training Hut going to be hit by a tornado as the Yellow Shaman does go down, but look at these warriors, they're just everywhere. 50 pop out of 69. Going to be it. Red Shaman's just like, I'm an AI. I'm alive. I'm going to go and attack you again. I have no spells, but I must attack. Fortunately, the AI is a cheater and will always have spells. Tornado says GG. I think he's going to surrender any second now. Very well played by these 2 players, actually giving us a very interesting game of walls. It was actually a back and forth with some questionable decisions actually being the result of what gives Convert the lead in this first game. Lightning coming out from Yellow. Double lightning coming out from Yellow, securing the kill onto Red. Red has no spells left. Red's base is just dying at this point. Red's clinging on to the last vestiges of life. As Yellow has a sword to the proverbial throat. And there's some red warriors in here being cheeky, being charming. By no means are they going to launch a comeback, but they're being cheeky, they're being annoying. They're being mildly disruptive. such a shame. Both players have had a strong opportunity to win this game. Both players threw their opportunity to win this game before Red being the last person to throw his opportunity to win this game, giving Yellow the first match by letting him pull off that back door. So surprised that Red allowed it, but there you go, Tornado does surrender. First game going the way of Convert in this best of 5. The slowness out of our red player. But the towers are up, which is good, and the Fire Warriors are already being trained. Oh, Red gets a crucial first shot on this. Does he retarget? He needs to... Ah, this Fire Warrior is going to lose. That's a shame. So this Fire Warrior is going to lose to this tower. Oh, the Fire Warrior get... Nope, never mind. If the Fire Warrior had gotten out alive, that's big. Early Fire Warrior losses can be catastrophic. When this map starts, this is Yggdrasil, of course, being the 1v1 variant of Pressure Point that uses yellow versus red. There is a variant that uses blue versus green because nobody plays it, because who likes the blue and green bases in Pressure Point? Typically, you're doing a careful balancing act between your large convert, managing the amount of Braves that you have to build your base, but also you want the right amount of Fire Warriors to be in your towers to give you the minimum amount of protection to stop you from taking early earthquakes. It's a careful balancing act. You don't just go all Fire Warriors straight away and fill every single tower, because that would leave you with no Braves to build, and you'll just fall behind on population that way. So when you lose a Fire Warrior like this, or like this, it's very annoying. Every Fire Warrior kill matters early on. But Yellow Brave going to be building a hut there. Red could get a free blast on that if he wanted to. Yeah, good boy, Red. Secondary blast does the job. Way too many blasts. First should have taken for a Brave. But Brave dead. Red happy. Yellow Shaman hold up in her base as the Red Shaman just moves to secure the middle. Red's building the base nice and quickly. A little bit of a slow start, we said, but it does look like he's doing a great job of building it out now. Can place down another row of huts, but is busy over here in a Shaman duel as ghosts get spammed, blasts get missed. And Red beat Yellow because Yellow did some weird, like... I don't know. I don't know how to describe what Yellow did. Yellow went up here, then rolled all the way down into here. It was like a pool trick shot. If you've ever watched anyone play pool or billiards, and they do a trick shot where the ball just like circumnavigates the entire table and goes into the last pocket you expected it to go into. That's pretty much what the Yellow Shaman just did there. Just went off on a wild ride. But anyway, enough weird metaphors, enough rambling as ghosts get spammed. Red player going to use an earthquake on Yellow's defense. Oh, that's annoying. The way that it cuts that way, Yellow can just build even more towers here. You want it to kind of flatten this ground out so it's easily troopable and hard to build. What on earth is with this puddle of water? This tile of water claims a second Shaman kill now as a fly starts to fly in my face, and it's really rather distracting because it's quite a big one. It's like a blue bottle. And I cannot see anything past the fly flying in front of my eyes. Get out of here! As the Yellow Shaman throws down the Ghost Army. Going to be distracting the towers. Earthquake coming down. Going to be on the side. Probably not too damaging, I suspect. That's about as good as it could be for Yellow. does leave red the option. Now, what red players are quite lazy about doing when this happens is building towers here. And you really shouldn't be lazy about it, you should just get on it. Do it right away. Population counts, I haven't done one yet, I've realised, because I've been busy getting distracted and rambling. Population 63 to 59. Bodes well for our red player. Typically, yellow gets a much better convert, so if red is doing well on pop already, does bode well for him. But populations are very close. It's not enough to say that red has most certainly won. That is for sure. Yellow's warriors gonna get blasted, not being controlled terribly well. Some of them getting swarmed, some of them being idle. So, red shaman's gonna dance backwards, try to get the high ground for herself as yellow uses ghost to push her down and deny her. Now she's in blast range. Yellow gets a blast onto the red shaman. Retaliatory red blast is weird. But it looks like red does go down with some more rolling shaman duels, man. They've just been absolutely ridiculous. This is a second fire warrior training her out for our red player, which is a good decision. Fire warrior is very important on pressure point and Yggdrasil, so it's always nice to have a second. Yellow shaman has to be careful. She's pursuing a little bit preemptively, perhaps overly aggressively. Yellow's being so aggressive that yellow's base is kind of rubbish. I'm basing that off of max population alone. You can see that yellow's only at 86 max population, red's at 92, and red's been taking all of the damage. Yellow does get the backup fire warrior training hut, as yellow also is just struggling to finish out this base. Could be something here. No, nothing on the side strip here. And this entire front area has also just gone completely unbuilt. Which feels like a big waste to me. Earthquake of red on the defense, going to achieve next to nothing, but these warriors probably going to do a little bit more as they get inside the towers and start to soften them up. Maybe kill 1 or 2 fire warriors in the progress as well. Whoa, ghost being annoying. Red shaman dangerously close to the coastline. What the? Combination of the brave push and the fire warrior shot. The shaman just jumped from one end of the freaking lane to the other. That was ridiculous. Excuse my sudden outrage. I was not expecting that combination to be as powerful as it was. Ghost coming down, going to be distracting the towers from both players. Oh, it looks like red might go in the water. No, well-placed blast from the red. Shaman manages to handle those ghosts well. Earthquake from yellow onto the defense. Yellow likes doing this. Yellow annoyed us in their very first game against Flatten by doing nothing but just spamming earthquakes on defense. It was absolutely horrific, and it was absolutely horrendous. And incredibly boring to watch. And in fact, it took yellow a lot longer to win that game as a result of it. Yellow's going to do the long land bridge towards the side. I like the spacing of yellow's towers. There's not very many of them yet, but they're all very well spaced out so that they cannot be taken out in a single earthquake. You're going to need troops, ghosts, swarms, and lightnings to get through. Red doesn't care. Red's not listening to me because he's busy playing the game, so he's going to do an earthquake anyway, and he actually gets the perfect cut. As much as that was RNG, that's also kudos to red for the placement to get the perfect tile that actually it cuts. Gets all 3 of those towers. Yellow warriors going to be moving over, going to clear out the ghosts from those towers as red does the same land bridge for towers that you often see players doing. Ghost fire warriors, not very useful unit. Probably the least useful ghost to make. In fact, as their shots deal no damage. They have a very niche case in making a shaman use spells on the wrong group of fire warriors. Blast from red does get yellow to roll down the hill a little bit. Red tries to get into the tower for a little bit of extra range, but doesn't quite find the kill. Now, red does have access to a lightning. That has to be called out. Red's lightning potentially giving a killing potential. Yellow has either messed up this piece of land or is just refusing to build there. Red's got a couple of huts. Can fit the back of his base as well. Yellow's throwing down non-stop towers, slowly increasing the fortifications, increasing the position. That tornado picks up the red shaman, and where did she go? Oh, she's over here. Oh, I think she's dead. She dead. I think red was busy controlling these warriors running the run-by onto the yellow base. Now, yellow is going to look for an opportunity to attack into red here. We'll probably see how yellow tries to deal with these towers, as the red warrior is going to massacre the yellow warriors in defense and strip out a little bit of this defense. Yellow looking very strong in the front, but very weak on the side here. Yellow did not build towers here, as yellow throws down an earthquake. Oh, that could not have been more perfect for yellow. Not only does it get all three of those towers completely, but it makes this annoying little hill, and this little hill actually blocks line of sight. So you're going to have to re-elevate that land or lower it down. Yellow Shaman's not done though. She's going to hammer on at the front door of red. Swarm comes down, scaring a couple of the fire warriors. The blast follow-up gets one of them. Gonna need a second blast to get to other. So it looks like we're going to see a base trade here. Red with 2 earthquakes available to him. Yellow with the 1 after this little beauty. Nice deep earthquake on something that isn't towers. Good to see it happening. Gets a warrior training hut and a hut for his troubles. Not the most damaging earthquake in the world. As red's warriors are being a little bit of a pest. A little bit of a nuisance here. Brave slowing down the shaman. These red warriors going to be running on in everywhere. Red's being a bit impatient, needs to not disrespect the fire warriors and actually respond to them in kind. Oh dear, what's going on here? Yellow Shaman turns around to deal with the Red Shaman, and the Red Shaman actually manages to get a very well-placed lightning. Red Shaman going to get in here. A long attack from our Red Shaman, but a successful one if these earthquakes go off. The 2 sets of swarms are going to set the fire warriors running around. This fire warrior is actually going to help these shaman out. Double earthquake does come down from our red shaman. Red managing to get both of them off. There goes the first one, not too much. There goes the second one, also not too much. Yellow can be happy with that. Red probably going to be a little bit annoyed with the amount of effort that he put into it. But does make this part of the base very annoying. This part of the base is now very vulnerable because no units are very easily going to be able to get over here to support. Red can now probably very easily take out that entire strip. Red player also doing what I like, very tenacious behavior in just building towers as soon as you have land to do so. And yellow's going to waste the earthquakes on the towers as well. Double earthquake on the same spot feels really stupid to me, but I'll see what they do. They don't achieve terribly much, I gotta be honest. That felt really dumb. I suppose it does clear out red's defense, it does damage the ground so that red can't build more, but it just feels like a very bad use of double earthquake. Normally one of the killers of a base is the double earthquake. Red's doing alright with the blast tricks. A little bit of intervention from the Fire Warrior means we'll never know whether Red would have survived that blast wall or not. Yellow Warriors gonna get on into the red base. Is there... I could have sworn there was a yellow dot like here. I think it's just the elevation of the land being very weird. So, in comes our red shaman. Going to be pushing forward, throwing down an earthquake onto the defense. Going to be trying to pick away. Both of these players are just cardinal sinners as far as I'm concerned, but hey, I'm not very good at Populous, so what do I know? I'm going to keep making fun of earthquakes on towers for as long as I continue to witness it, until someone convinces me it's a good idea. Couple of tornadoes coming out from red, going to be stripping back the defense just a little bit. Yellow's actually going to connect to red's front strip with a land bridge, but then turn around to answer the shaman. Oh no, it's the warriors. Yellow can't decide. Is it the shaman or the warriors you want to stop? You've stopped the warriors. Are you going to... Yeah, yellow finally makes his mind up. He's going to go on into the red base. Red needs to fill those towers as quickly as possible. Get additional fire warriors clicked onto the yellow shaman. No firestorm for yellow right now, so doesn't need to worry about that. Loose troops can do wonders against a shaman. Going to have to be watching both shamans now as red does a very aggressive push in via yellow's side. We said earlier on in this cast that yellow's side is where yellow is weak. These Braves are getting some good pushes, being very disruptive as the yellow shaman is doing everything she can to try and kill these fire warriors. I think she's going to do it. I think she's going to kill the fire warriors. Oh, the red shaman has to be careful. Going to roll into the water. Oh, no, red shaman's still alive. Very nice. Deep earthquake from our red shaman. One earthquake from our yellow shaman. Once again on towers. Yellow, bad earthquakes. Whenever yellow gets the opportunity to earthquake, they're always just awful. Oh, red's in the back of the base, and look at the population he has access to. Yellow dropping down to 83 population. 83 population to 119. Although red's front has taken a big battering, terrible earthquakes from yellow means that red is now winning this game. Not by much, but look at the state of yellow's base. Yellow needs to shore up the way he's playing. He's currently wasting earthquakes left, right, and center. He's going to come out of this base, and we'll see what he does. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I want to say that with the base looking like this, he's just going to push in and attack. I wouldn't be surprised to see another earthquake on towers. Red Shaman's going for a magical wander. I don't know where the hell Red Shaman's going. The pathfinding is an absolute mess. Oh no, Yellow Shaman's going to back up. Retreat. This hill is so annoying. I'm sure our red player agrees. Red warriors getting into the yellow base still. Being very annoying. I think that's a ghost. I'm almost certain that that's a ghost. These towers are empty. Don't want to see earthquake on these towers. They're empty. Oh, man. Red Shape is still alive. Another deep earthquake from red. Red can afford to do this now because this defense is all that yellow had, and yellow actually losing it And then pausing. Calling for a second, please. Look, you can see the cool effects that are towers exploding. Get that. Is that not art? Yellow's base is an absolute mess right now. Red's base looking much better, but that's only because Yellow really likes earthquaking in the same spot. You know, Yellow's absolutely hammered this with earthquakes, absolutely decimated it. But Red's core is untouched. And by core, I mean C-O-R-E, not C-O-R. Core being this. Core being the center. All three towers. So Revenge, as a lucky EQ, got all three of those towers, and Revenge EQ gets all three of these. So there you go. The fates are aligned, the balance is shifted, the RNG is officially even. So much more that goes into it than just that. But our Red Shaman slowly ascends the hill. High ground is a thing in Populous at the beginning, of course. Going up onto the high ground like this is going to give the Shaman a ranged advantage, which is why you can see Yellow retreating towards this piece of high ground as well. This messed up piece of land on the minimap keeps making me think that there is a Yellow unit in Red's base, and I keep checking it, and I'm mortally disappointed every time. So the Red Warriors are going to start applying a pressure on this side door, and remember talking about how the way this all collapsed, it's going to be very difficult to get troops over here. Oh, nice lightning from our Yellow Shaman, managing to get the kill onto Red there. As an entourage of Yellow Warriors going to be leading the charge. Red's been able to build some defense, but has to be careful of these hills. These hills do affect line of sight. So as much as they look cool, and as much as you think they might hinder enemy trooping, they are also going to hinder your own Fire Warriors. Our Yellow player sporting double Earthquake, triple Lightning. We'll see what Yellow does with it. You needed an example of it affecting line of sight. There you go, right there. This Fire Warrior cannot see this Shaman. Which is why I said our Red player is going to want to get rid of this. Red didn't like that Brave. Going to take him down. Failed to kill a Shaman. Double Lightning. Not finding the kill. Third Lightning. Well, I don't think it was the Lightning. I think it was the Fire Warriors, really. But Yellow Shaman does go down, and Red gets a good Lightning onto all those Warriors as well. Red base very vulnerable here now. Red needs to think about a way of making this more defensible, perhaps. Going over here, land bridging down, and then covering it in towers. Probably Red's best move on how to make that more defensible. Red is building towers slightly more forward, which is always nice. If Red can bother to fill those, then that's great. I hope that Red knows that the tower line of sight is not from where the Fire Warrior is. And then he can think about fixing this, because at the moment this Fire Warrior can't see shit. Oh, that lightning missing by a hair. It looks like Red's going to get killed by a retaliatory lightning from Yellow. But Yellow also going down. And a last-minute lightning from our red player. Once again, we're in this position. Population's 131 out of a 137. 98 out of 150. We're in this position that we're in for the Wolves game. Yellow has a better green bar, but less actual population. Red has higher actual population, but an incredibly shitty green bar. But red is rocking. Double Fire Warrior Training Hut. Double Warrior Training Hut, it looks like. Double Warrior Training Hut, yeah, and is building some huts on the front line. As well as some guard towers. In fact, red's even building guard towers here instead of huts, which I like. Smart decision from red here to build towers on this high ground. Of course, in the 1.5 edition, the Fire Warriors actually shoot in the middle. So the middle is an incredibly powerful position. It's an incredibly powerful position in the original game, the 1.1 and 1.3 versions. But with Fire Warriors shooting, it goes from very powerful to incredibly obnoxious. You haven't lived until you've seen Fire Warriors actually shooting from the top of these hills. It's infuriating. Winds even me up when I've got to clear it. Lightning coming out for our red shaman onto one of the towers. The yellow shaman being a bit slow, being a bit stationary, perhaps pretending not to pay attention. No, there you go. She does move, in fact. These red warriors going to take an engagement with the yellow warriors. This should be an easy win for red, as the red shaman also tries to do a side door, throws down an earthquake onto what remains of the yellow defense. And RNG is on red's side. Look at that. Yellow goes from having a bunch of towers to bugger all. I've used that comparison already this game, but it just shows how often it's happening. And red's got a real opportunity here, because red can just continue to throw down towers. Where is red? Oh, red's over here. Whoa! That Fire Warrior almost getting a cheeky little blast push into the water. The yellow shaman sort of struggling to make a decision on what to do next, actually. Dodging into the tower. Gonna provide her some protection from the Braves. Whoa, long range light. Red being very ambitious about this. Yellow needs to make this lightning. This shaman kill has to happen. If yellow fails to make the shaman kill happen, yellow could be in a bad way. Nice long range lion bridge. Missing the light. Missing the light again. What are these lightnings? Red didn't even go for the lightning. Red just walked up and earthquaked the tower. Red does go down. That's why yellow shaman after being picked up in a tornado. Weird little power play there from red. If you were pushed that far forward, why didn't you just counter light the tower and kill the shaman? Instead he goes for the earthquake. Perhaps flexing his mana, perhaps being a little bit bad-mannered even. Taunting his opponent. As I scroll away from the shaman while she's in the middle of an attack. Tornado coming down onto one of the huts as warriors trickle on by. The shaman choosing to ignore them as Fire Warriors have been clicked onto the shaman. Nice little volley there. Another little volley. These Fire Warriors, they're going to hunt the shaman down. Mass blasts are the name of the game for our yellow shaman to get the Fire Warrior pressure off. In fact, a warrior is going to intervene, but he's being pounded by Braves. This is a game of little touches. I love that the Braves duck. When Fire Warriors are shooting something that they're in melee combat with, I love that they duck. That's just... That sprite doesn't need to be there, but it is, and it's great. Both shamans trading lightnings, and once again, yellow gets the better of the red shaman. Double lightning from red, failing to find the mark, but yellow's light does ring true. Sniping down the shaman as yellow warriors finally start to emerge a little bit victorious on this front. When I say warriors, it's warrior, singular, this one warrior. Bit of a hero, but he's going to give his life for the cause. Yellow shaman's going to push in again. Now red has got a lot of towers, a lot of defense, not all of it full. Yellow approaching from this angle does mean this tower is going to be useful, so that's something. Oh, the earthquake does go down for yellow, and the roll is good as well. Blah, that's a bit gross. Population's dead even, actually, with only very little difference in the max population. Constant aggressive pressure coming out of our red shaman, actually managing to kill the yellow shaman there, and that could be huge because the yellow shaman has barely rebuilt the defense. Red warriors had already been sent over to the yellow defense. Red's even micromanaging the warriors to make sure they get into combat with the fire warriors that had been clicked onto the shaman, but it looks like red is going to go down there. That's the volley. Follow-up volley from all the fire warriors as yellow has literally selected every fire warrior on the map and clicked them on the shaman. The red shaman's stuck going up a hill, needs to retreat. Manages to do so. Oh. I don't know if red was feeling tense, but I was feeling tense for him. Every single fire warrior that yellow owns has just been clicked on the shaman, which means every single fire warrior that yellow owns, bar these 4, have just been killed. Because they just ran into the defense. They ran into warriors, they ran into the defense, and now yellow has like 6 fire warriors. It's stupid. So yellow's probably going to be careful now at this point. Red shaman is alive and on the high ground. She survived her ordeal with the fire warriors and now is looking to make a move elsewhere on the map. Yellow getting into a tower. He's going to play some Sim City. Get his land bridge on. Look at these warriors. They could do some damage if they are left unchecked, and we've got lightnings coming out. Red that fails to find the kill with the first lightning. Yellow's retaliatory lightning also not good. Yellow shaman in a position where she has to choose between fighting red's shaman with a... Oh, what were the chances? Yellow shaman going down to the world's luckiest tornado is literally land, 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 puddle. Yellow warriors are clicked onto the towers. They have been separated a little bit, but they're all going to be stacked in this tower. They're all going to get taken out by this fire warrior eventually. Firestorm coming out from our red shaman. That's going to get red deeper into this base. Yellow shaman has respawned. Can she get there in time? Can she find the winning lightning to keep herself in this tournament a little bit more? She does get it, but the earthquake from red already goes down. How does it do? Compilation of Lovenji sound effects in response to volcanoes. That one is a meh. Probably more harmful for our red shaman than it is for our yellow shaman, as red has really favoured this path of attack and has had quite some success with it. So the fact that half of it is now sunk into the water, probably not beneficial for our red player, but we'll see how it goes, you know. All these towers have been emptied. The warriors have done their job, but the red shaman has respawned. She's going to take a weird-ass path to get to the front again. Look at this. No, she hasn't been clicked on the front, which is why she's taking that path. Never mind, I thought pathfinding was doing something incredibly stupid because I thought red would want to defend this pressure from the shaman. But no, red's just going to respawn and immediately carry on applying pressure. This is the second game of this best of 5. And it's another long one. We're about 35 minutes in, 34 minutes in, whatever. Population's 118 to 89. Lightning coming out for red onto those yellow warriors, getting a good group of them. Or are those red warriors? No, those are yellow warriors, yeah. The corpses do indeed have a small amount of yellow in them. This feels like a big move for our yellow player to propose the trade. I don't think that yellow has enough warriors at only 6 to be able to do a lot of damage to red right now. I think red has more warriors. And yellow shaman is in fact just getting bullied. Double earthquake comes down from the shaman, but what's the shaman going to do after this? In fact, the shaman's going to die. So we're all eyes over here now to see what red does, and red's just got so many warriors. Yellow's running the population. That's how many warriors that red has. Yellow's fleeing. Yellow's abandoning the base. Yellow's going to lead the charge onto red's base, and we're going to get... You don't see these very often in Populous, nowhere near as much as you do in StarCraft. We're going to get a base trade. No. Yes. No. Yes. No. Yes. No. I hope all this population hasn't been clicked onto red's base. That would be suicide. First earthquake from red is good, but the second earthquake, what's it going to be? There it is, deep in the heart of yellow territory. Whoa. Both shamans going down, but that does not favor yellow right now. With all these red warriors running around in the base, yellow calls GG and surrenders. Game ties up 1-1. Tornado answering back with a phenomenal performance on Yggdrasil. Another long game. We're going to game 3, guys, and it won't end there. We're guaranteed at least a 4th match. What is up, everyone? It is Lovenji Gaming, and we are back within the Invisible Cup. This is game number 3 between these two players. This is our second quarter final. And we're on Dead Sea, playing as the red tribe in the yellow base. Pop TB Tornado. Playing as the yellow tribe in the blue base. We've got Pop TB Convert. So, I was saying in the pre-game lobby that Convert made a fatal mistake, and those of you that have been watching Dead Sea in the tournament so far, Convert requested this base. Neither player banned Dead Sea. I did think Tornado made a mistake picking Dead Sea, and then Convert went ahead and requested the blue base. Now, in my experience, and in every game that we've seen so far, blue base gets absolutely reamed in converts. Like, absolutely reamed. And you can see it already. With this map being incredibly imbalanced. So, large amount of convert coming out for our red player. You can see red's 50 convert to yellow's 24, and that's typical for Dead Sea. That's why players have been changing their tactic once they realised how imbalanced the 4 bases are. They've been changing their tactic to just ban this map from the pool. But neither of our two players wanted to ban Dead Sea. Instead, they opted to ban Bifrost and Face Off. So yellow's going around picking up the residual convert here. But you can already see red is just pulling away. Oh no, red is not pulling away. I actually don't think red knows how to play Dead Sea. Or red's playing Dead Sea in a very unusual way. Yeah, red's playing Dead Sea in a way that we've seen once before in this tournament. It's actually just building a very grouped up base, so that although yellow has trained a large amount of warriors, red's population advantage, red is going to utilise to just have fire warriors soften them up, and yellow's basically going to fall upon his own sword. Because these warriors are not going to get anything done. Not even wasting blasts as the warriors are defeated in hand-to-hand combat by the shaman. And the red shamans even managed to get access to a lightning. Now, red shaman could just double land bridge right now. got the mana to charge a quick lightning. You've got the mana to charge a land bridge. You got to block off here. Now the problem with blue base is blue base does have a second exit. Units can actually get out of the base here. Fire Warrior is going to be firing volleys on the yellow shaman as she wanders around looking for something to do. She's actually managed to get herself a tornado. The red shaman is hunting down the yellow shaman. The yellow shaman's running away from the red shaman. I don't think anyone's praying right now. No, doesn't look like any praying is being done. I'm in the middle of nowhere. And the yellow base is starting to come under assault from a large warrior. Large admin of warrior. Prime, you can criticize the tournament as much as you like. And you're more than welcome to host your own and make it better if you think you are capable. So Dead Sea had never been played in a... So to elaborate, Dead Sea is has never really been in a 1v1 tournament like this before, and people didn't realize how imbalanced Dead Sea is because the original picks were red versus green, but there was a lot of complaint that red versus green is imbalanced because of the shape of the land and the shape of the bases and the converts that they have access to. So it's changed to blue versus yellow, but as you can see, that's also very unfair. So there was really no way to make it fair, but the tournament was already halfway underway once the community figured out the imbalance within the maps. Dead Sea will not be appearing in future Hidden Cups, but it is still stuck in the pool for this Hidden Cup, as it was a map that people actually wanted until they realised it's broken as shit. So as you can see, this is what we were talking about for red. 16 Fire Warriors are in this base. What's yellow going to do here? There's so many Fire Warriors. Yellow's trying to get the core block with a land bridge. You know, yellow's got the land bridge, wants to get over here, block this core off so that red can't get out of the base. And you can see, same thing happening here. Now red does have to be mindful that blue can actually still leave the base through this little slope here, thanks to Inca's pathfinding. And as you can see, red warriors can also still enter the base. So I hope our red player is aware that this is a second exit, otherwise that core block actually achieves nothing. But I don't think our red player needs it right now, with at 49 population. That said, the max pop for yellow is currently bigger, currently higher. Yellow's strategy of building all over the map is actually working out. Red is not praying to anything with the extra population, so not securing any additional advantages. And the warriors are just spreading themselves out, looking for population to kill. Taking out a warrior training hut here. The problem for yellow is that yellow does not have a single warrior training hut. In a 1v1 of Dead Sea, you've got to be slapping down more warrior training huts than your opponent has tornadoes. 4 minimum. You need warrior training huts, and you need them everywhere. Lightning coming out from our red shaman, securing the kill onto yellow there. Population's 22 for yellow and 47 for red. Red just continues to build in this block fashion, and look, even red does not have a huge base spread out everywhere, and red has 4 warrior training huts. You need more warrior training huts than tornadoes. Another warrior training hut going down. Convert tried to desperately to establish another warrior hut over here so that warrior production can begin. But red's at 15 warriors and yellow's at 0. Red's almost got more warriors than yellow has braves. And that is a sign of defeat when that starts happening, I can tell you that. Warriors do not win versus... braves do not win versus warriors, is what I meant to say. There you go. Red's been shown that if blue can get out, that the blue base has a second exit, and red's going to cover it in. Yellow completely trapped within their core. Bullfrog made this map, man. I don't think they realised that everyone would be jerks with Lambridge when they made it. GG, well played, says Convert. GG, says Tornado. Tornado's going to go up 2-1 in this bracket. And it's very lucky for Tornado, because obviously Tornado picked this map, which meant Convert got the base choice. But Convert picked blue base, perhaps wanting the blue base because it had the second exit. Perhaps not knowing just how strong the Convert is for the other base. So we're going to game 4. What is up, everyone? It's Lovenji Gaming, and look at what map we're on. Woohoo! It's Cess. Party down. Right, here we are. This is game number 4 of the second quarterfinals of the Invisible Cup, playing as the red tribe, red base. It is Pop TB Tornado, who is on match point. His opponent only managed to score an impressive victory on 4 walls, playing as yellow tribe. Yellow position, it is Pop TB Converts. We are on Cess. So the rules of Cess remain the same. Players can utilize the second base, but you're going to have to do one of 2 things to be able to do so. And actually, one of them is very, very clever. You could get a couple of Braves, put them over here, and blast them onto this base so they would be able to build. But they then would not be of any use. So this would be like a pure mana den base. You wouldn't be able to use any of the population here because it gets stuck. And they can't pray to gargoyles. Or you just charge a flatten and connect to the base before you can use it. However, once you invest time into using the second base, you can certainly connect. And the first blast duel goes the way of Convert. 2 blast cast. Convert wins. So, what is Cess for those of you that have never, ever played Populous the Beginning multiplayer before? And let's be honest, that's the only way you've never heard of this map, is if you've never, ever been in the multiplayer community. This abomination of a map is an Asgard map that took the noob community by storm. This is a map featuring low ground, and the low ground has Lambridge turned off. The cores are quite separated. Typical strategy, which you don't have to worry about in a 2v2 scenario, features flattening and earthquaking this stupidly low land to cut off someone, and then doubling out their opponent. Red's having a great time. He goes down 2 times to yellow on the same life. Yellow's going to secure himself a Lambridge. That's what's in the middle here. Temporary cast of Lambridge, which could be very useful because that could just connect you to the second base straight away without even needing a flag. Early Warrior Trading Hut coming out for Convert. I don't know if Convert plays Cess very much. I have a very strong feeling about Warriors on Cess, and that is they are useless until later on in the game. That sound indicates that a Lambridge has been acquired by a yellow player who tried to intervene with that Fire Warrior getting into the hut. Oh, Tornado. Tornado, man, you completely dismantled this hut. What you doing, bro? What you doing, bruh? Red Shaman's going to challenge the hill. Is she going to die for a 3rd time in a row? Ooh. Happy feet. She's doing the dance. Doing the shaman dance. Here we go. Here we go. I can click my shaman too. So, half of Red's base isn't built because Red's been dismantling. And Red appears to have stopped the dismantle, but not actually rebuilt the huts. So half of Red's base is just like currently dismantled right now, which is fantastic. Yellow's going to be doing another little prey at the gargoyle. Ghost Braves being used to disrupt the shaman a little bit. They give it a little bit of a nudge, but not enough to secure Red an opportunity to push up onto this high ground. The fact that this is a hill is also just stupid. Remember, high ground elevation in Populous is a thing. So, the shaman up here always outranges the shaman down here. Oh ho ho! Some interesting blast coming out. Both shamans still alive after what feels like the world's longest shaman duel. A couple of yellow fire warriors actually arriving on the front as well. Yellow shaman surviving that by a tile, quite literally. The Ghost Brave's going to be clicked onto the Yellow Shaman. Perhaps maybe wanted to click them onto the tower. That would have been more useful, eh? And our Yellow Shaman has finally been pushed back off of the hill. Our Red Shaman's still got a base to complete. One hut here. Two huts here. Wow. Yeah, I don't think our Red Shaman player builds Cess very much. You move the Fire Warrior hut from here to here. There's a perfect space for it. Build a hut here, and then you get 3 huts here. Doesn't look like Red's going to do that. Yellow's going to connect himself up to the second base, though. Good use of the land bridge. He's going to start sending Braves over there almost immediately. I strongly suspect. Terrible puns aside, the Red Shaman's going to do a little bit of a dance. Messing around with Braves, going to get pushed around, bullied everywhere. Tornado out of our Yellow player. Red Shaman's still alive. Yellow needs to be careful. Yellow was not careful, and both Shamans go down. But Red's on a little bit of a ticking clock here. Red's pretty much forced to get a flatten next. Because Yellow is now building in the secondary base. Yellow has access to the second base. It's going to be able to flatten this one out. The chat's saying they're learning things listening to me. I'm not sure if ironic or not. I feel like I just ramble and hope for the best. Yellow's probably not a very experienced Cess player. I base that off of the fact that Yellow doesn't have any trees. It's down to 4 trees, which is... Out there from all of our players. We all almost lagged out by the looks of it, and that was caused by my Nvidia broadcast once again freezing. Lightning coming out for our Yellow player, manages to find the kill onto Red. Very nice, good to see. Power's going down. Yellow doing a better job of harvesting the trees he's not using than the ones in his own base. Red's tree situation, actually making fun of Yellow, Red's tree situation is worse. He's got 1 tree just grown back there, 1 tree barely alive here, and he's got his 2 stripped trees as well. taking care of the wood from these trees, which is nice to see. Warriors from yellow going to be rushing in now. I always say I hate warriors on CES, but that's generally because in the 2v2 variant with 2 shamans on this thin strip, you can't do anything with warriors. Like, warriors are never going to get in until you're ready to finish a game. So building a warrior training hut in your first base is just both a waste of limited wood and a waste of space. You could build the warrior hut on your first expand, because that's about when you'll know whether you're going to win a game or not on CES. But here we go. Whoa, terrifying. I'm getting tense just watching this. Both tornadoes failing to find the mark. Yellow's tornado is going to run off into the distance. It thought about swinging on in to take care of red, but decides not to. Wow! Red's tornado pulls the biggest bullshit I've ever seen. Gets all of the fire warriors. Every single fire warrior that was in that clump got picked up by that tornado. Every single one. And the shaman. Carried out into the sea and drowned. So here we are. The red shaman has done what we said, you know, absolutely forced to make the flattened connection so that red can continue to grow at the same rate. You always want to remember in other RTSs, the prime example being StarCraft, you know, specific races can get away with being a little bit behind in terms of economy, but you always want to make sure your economy is equal to or greater than your opponent's. Otherwise, you just fall behind. Unless you're Protoss and you have an incredibly efficient army. But don't worry about that. Back to Populous. We have double tornado in the chamber. There's the first one coming out for our red player, going to kill the fire warrior and take down the tower. Now, yellow does have to be careful because this base is exposed as all hell. Shaman's never going to respawn there. You can cut the path. You know, the path-cutting nonsense that we have to... the nonsense nonsense path-cutting that we always talk about in CES is still a thing. It's just only happening to one player instead of 2. You know, you could cut the path here and just freely troop out this base. There's not even warriors here. You could even use braves and fire warriors if you wanted to. But populations at the moment looking at 58 out of 77 and 59 out of 82. So despite yellow having 5 huts in the other base, barely ahead of red, who hasn't begun to build in this second base yet. Fire warriors in huts are very annoying, but one thing you can do, fire warriors in huts, they actually exit the hut to shoot on the same tile as the hut. So you can time the blast to when they're shooting, and you can actually blast the fire warriors out of the hut as they shoot. Red Shaman gonna get picked up in a tornado. We'll see what RNG says about it. Into the drink she goes. And the tornadoes veer off into the distance. Red's gonna spread out some fire warriors as yellow has got preference for warriors still. Shaman seeing stars, very low health. Gotta be careful, 2 or 3 more fire warrior volleys. Could see her dead. Red's pulling population out of the secondary base. Hasn't put any huts down there. Red's base fully upgraded. Yellow's still got small huts in his base. And we can see the large warrior push is coming in. But, and I've said this before in other CES casts, I've said it before in this CES cast, warriors are pretty useless. They're going to get held up here. They're going to kill a bunch of pop, but this is all sacrificial pop that red would send at yellow's shaman anyway on CES, because shaman attacks are so devastating. You do a lot of just sending braves at the shaman to stop her getting into the base. Red's going to be not picked up by that tornado because, you know, he objects. Tornado's going to veer off in a direction that red doesn't have to be afraid of. Second tornado is going to pick red up, though. However, we'll see where it throws. Whee! Into the water. New Brunette Palace, everyone. You're watching CES at its finest. Fire Warrior is going to be clicked on to the Shaman. Frontline Warrior training up. What's worse than warriors on Cess? A warrior training hut on the front line. Perhaps our red player isn't a Cess player. This hut is probably the most important hut to be a hut in Cess, because this hut is part of your defense. You actually, most players that have played enough of this map will unload the Braves that would sit in what would be this large hut and fill it with fire warriors. At best, it slows the shaman down because she has to clear it. At worst, you know, she gets hit by it and dies because she hasn't played very much Cess. Whoa, but Yellow's population's really starting to run away with it now. The second base starting to pay dividends as Yellow is on 79, Pop out of 104 to Red's 47. Red, of course, did lose a lot of population through half of his population at Yellow to try and stop that attack going down, and just about managed to make it succeed. In fact, Cess is a fun map. And we're going to get more population dancing. Yellow missing a lightning. Oh, here we go. Tornadoes once again. Going to be picking up both shamans. Yellow's in the drink. Red's still alive. Red needs to respond. He needs to not go anywhere near that fire warrior, because fire warriors still shoot when they're in towers. Tornadoes. So you got to be careful about approaching fire warriors in tornadoes. They can pull off all kinds of bullshittery. And Red's building out the second base very slowly. Woohoo! Fire warriors get a nice volley onto the shaman. Going to be endangering her a little bit there. Another volley does secure the shaman kill as Red fire warriors start to push in. Honestly, Red could earthquake this because this base is... Nah. Red has two choices. Red could earthquake this so that all the pop in here is useless for anything but mana. Does have the disadvantage of it makes that base safe and is an income source for mana. Red can cut here and then destroy this base. Equally as useful. Red's trying to do the honourable thing and cut not at all. But this is Cess. There is no honour in Cess. When you're forced to play Cess, you burn trees, you brave blast, you cut paths, you push back with flatten, you become your worst self in the name of that sweet, sweet Cess W. And we do it because we want it to end. These things help the game end quicker, and therefore we get out of it quicker. And then we join another Cess game. Oh, so it looks like Yellow's going to be the first to break the honor code. Ah, what BS. That's Cess. That right there, if you wanted to know what Cess was, that was Cess. That was everything. Everything Cess right there. Tornado's already saying GG. Tornado has already had enough of this and just surrenders. Wants to go to a game 5. It's tied up 2-2. Cess continues to be a ridiculous addition to this tournament. Kind of growing on me for how stupid it is. We're going on to a game 5. What is up, everyone? It is Lovenji Gaming, and we've gone to the 5th game in a best of 5. In the quarterfinals of Populous the Beginning's Invisible Cup, the tournament where we hide the identities of our professional players. Oh, good. We've got a pause already, so I don't need to rush. Playing as the Yellow Tribe. Yellow position. Pop TB convert. Playing as the Red Tribe. Red position. Pop TB Tornado. The score is currently 2-4-2. Yellow took victories on Four Walls and Nubrim near Palace. Red took victories on Yggdrasil and Dead Sea. And it all comes down to this final match between these two. We're here on Hollow Fields for the final game of this best of 3. One of these players advances to the semi-final. One of these players will get the opportunity to fight for $150. The other player will be stuck with the 50 they've already claimed by making it this far. It is all on the line, and as we can see, both players are going to be coming out aggressive with both of these converts. This series really has gone the distance, with the stream itself lasting about 2 hours for one single set. So these players are going to be feeling exhausted after this, I do not doubt. Whether you're on Team Convert or you're on Team Tornado. Whoa, that's a big convert for Convert. So many Braves there getting picked up by our yellow tribe there. Such a cheeky little steal. That's going to set Tornado off on the wrong foot. Convert's going to be picking up the population, but I strongly suspect our yellow player is going to pull ahead with that cheeky steal. And look at the fistfights. I don't think he got any population, but he certainly slowed down the building. Towers on the front, though. They've been built in time. We need to see the Fire Warrior Training Hut. Fire Warrior Training Hut already up for yellow. Same cannot be said for red. Red has not placed the plan yet. I can't tell if that's a Fire Warrior hut or a normal hut. It looks like a normal hut. Never mind. No Fire Warrior Training Hut. Still for our red player. There's no point building all these towers if you ain't going to train the Fire Warriors to fill them, my friend. Lovenji 101 when it comes to Populous. Good choice of tower placement here and here. Going to be able to get these filled. Yellow's been very lazy about building out the towers on the side strip here. Looks like he's going to get on it right now. And despite Yellow's steal, Red gets the better of the convert, actually. That extra convert in middle really paying off for Red, as he's 2 ahead of Yellow right now. Fire Warrior is going to be sent to the front lines, going to enter the towers, provide the front line of defense. What? Was this a wild man? And we just missed it getting converted. I'm going to keep going to World View to look for the Fire Warrior Training Hut. Here it is. This is a Fire Warrior Training Hut here. So our red player will be going for Fire Warriors eventually. Red Brave getting killed there. Cheeky volley from this tower, no doubt. Going to be a bit of a nuisance. Oh, this tower's so disruptive. It's incredibly annoying. Hopefully our red player will notice how disruptive that tower's being and do something about it. Red towers being constructed all down side strip. No, there's really not too much to talk about because both players are just getting up their first attack momentum. You can see that Yellow has opted for a Earthquake out of 47 pop, 44 green bar. Yellow double Tornado out of 49 pop, 62 green bar. And Yellow catches me taking a swig of drink. What I'm saying here is the fact that Red has not filled the towers because of the Fire Warrior Training Hut being so late. He's actually getting a little bit punished here. Yellow goes for the early connection, trying to sneak the Earthquake in, but I actually think Yellow is going to die here. Yellow does die and doesn't get the kill on Red, so that side door does not work out for our Yellow player. And now the Fire Warriors cometh. They have been trained. They are commanded to enter towers. This tower actually got saved by Red, which is nice because it means Red still has some sort of forward positioning, as Yellow already starting to make use of the Warriors. Going to be coming down here, probably taking out some of this, probably get these 3 structures. Very little else. I don't see any Warrior Training Huts for Red, so Red's going to have to deal with Shaman and Fire Warriors to deal with these Warriors. Brave's going to be very helpful, going to slow down the Warrior advance, and in fact, they're actually just going to be able to be pulled out and retreated. controlled in a circle on the front lines, in fact, as Yellow Shaman takes the most dangerous route. Earthquake coming out for our Yellow Shaman. Probably going to get a couple of... never mind. Sets fire to a hut. Does that Earthquake. So that early charged pressure for nothing. But there is a second Earthquake for our Yellow player. So if Yellow can get a kill here, it could be big. Red needs to understand that there are warriors on the side strip that need answering. Blast going down onto those warriors indeed. The Red Shaman is accepting a blast duel with the Yellow Shaman and emerges perfectly victorious. Nice blast tricking out of our Red Shaman, going to get the kill onto the Yellow Shaman, and now these Yellow Warriors can start to be cleaned up a little bit. A couple of them are going to go down as they retreat. Fire Warrior Volleys, oh no, yeah. Fire Warrior Volley is going to get all of this population that's being used. So that's useful. I think Red's going to start hiding even more Fire Warriors around this area. Perhaps get them into a couple of the towers, as well as put some in the huts. And Red's also built a Fire Warrior training hut now, at the cost of his trees! No, we said this about Balloon yesterday. The trees, man. Yellow's building much slower, but it has harvested the trees, and it shows, you know, Yellow's green bar only at 84, Red's at 109, population 66 to 59. But we talked about this at length in the Balloon versus Bloodlust game, where Balloon actually cut down every single tree in the base, and Balloon was struggling against Bloodlust for quite a while, because Bloodlust just had more resources available, and anything that... any damage that Balloon sustained was permanent, because you couldn't build new towers without wood, you couldn't repair towers without wood. Unfortunately, Bloodlust was not able to capitalize on that advantage and ended up losing anyway, because eventually the trees regrow. And once they've regrown, you know, this advantage of harvesting means absolutely nothing. It gives you a window where you can abuse your opponent, but that window doesn't last forever. Yellow walking alongside the water, you have to be very careful doing that. Oh, what a lightning from the Red Shaman. Going to get the kill onto the Yellow Shaman. Oh, nicely placed blast. Going to get that Fire Warrior before you can... Whoa! Red Shaman almost going into the water as a result. Needs to get the damage off now before those Fire Warriors shoot. Lambridge going to lower that hill. Big attack potentially for our Red Shaman, with an Earthquake in the chamber, but the Shaman's getting stuck. She needs to deal with those Fire Warriors. Just use it. Just use it. Ah, don't die without using your Earthquake. A little bit of patience. And... oh, Yellow misses the lightning. Second lightning does hit the target, but the Earthquake has gone down. Not as damaging as it could have been. It only gets one hurt, but burns a little bit of the wood as well. But that's annoying for Yellow. Couple of gambles, neither of them paid off. That lightning was so critical to hit. His Brave's going to be a nuisance. There you go. Yellow building a little bit on the front line. Going to make this a little bit of a wall. Difficult to push past. Our Yellow Shaman is going to launch a counter attack. Now, Red does have a lightning in the chamber, so when Red respawns, Red could kill Yellow with a lightning if Yellow is not careful. Yellow does have access to double Earthquake. There's the lightning from Red, so Yellow's only going to get one of those two Earthquakes off. How this hut did not break, I will never know. As you can see, the land is going to slowly even itself out as this hut decides where it wants to be in life. Slowly flattening itself out, stage by stage. There you go. Red Shaman's going for a swim. She gets taken down. Lots of warriors for our yellow tribe. But red has managed to match like for like. Red with 1 lightning, 1 earthquake. Yellow with 1 tornado, 1 earthquake. The warriors for red appear to be avoiding the warriors for yellow. They're going whatever side yellow's warriors are not. Want to see if yellow chooses to chase the warriors or attack with them, and we can see in the horizon there that yellow has opted for the latter. It's going to be using these warriors to push into the base. Earthquake on the front line, going to soften up a little bit of our red defense here. Here we are, once again, another duel of the fates between these two shamans. This match means so much in terms of prize money, in terms of placement. They will face the winner of Boat versus Earthquake, whoever that may be. Fireware's going to fire a couple of volleys, being a little bit annoying. Swarm's going to come down as well, pushing the red shaman back just a little bit. Warriors from red getting tied on in here. Sorry, I was taking a drink because my throat was killing me. Warriors from red going to get on in here, push through the armada of fire warriors with the assistance of the red shaman, going to get into the base. A large amount of yellow warriors going to meet them in combat, and they're going to emerge largely victorious because the warriors get softened up by the volleys from the tower. Red shaman is still alive. She's being a little bit sneaky, throwing down the earthquake though, before she does ultimately go down. Earthquake cut is decent. Makes this a little bit harder to fortify, lowers the general height of the ground, which also reduces the rolling as well, because this is so prone to rolling it can be very, very annoying. Yellow shaman's counter push into red, who currently still holds the population lead, but perhaps might not after all of these warriors have their say. So many of them coming on in. Yellow Shaman's doing a fantastic job of pushing in. The swarms are sending troops running everywhere. Yellow did bring a small swarm of troops as well to spread all over the red base. The lightning manages to connect with the red shaman beautifully as red goes down, but the yellow earthquake doesn't achieve too much. Red can be happy with that. Red's population's barely moved since this attack began, whereas yellow's has actually gone down. Yellow lost pop in that attack because he used so many troops, as red's has barely moved. The red up base is slowly grading. The red base is slowly upgrading, the lack of wood really slowing that down. Yellow's base is not upgraded that much quicker. Earthquake on the side strip here, getting a little bit of damage in, but not terribly much. As you can see, red's population is still not moved as yellow shaman, as the yellow has only just made it up to 80 pop. So here we are. Once again, a little bit of normalization. This land bridge gonna perhaps give Red the opportunity to build even more towers and just make that a little bit harder to push into. The completion of a second warrior training hut is going to help Red match Yellow warrior for warrior, as Yellow was working out of 2 troop huts. Blast doesn't connect on the fire warrior, but the second one does. The swarm's going to send the fire warrior running around. I suspect we'll see Red's earthquake here. Red tries to get the shaman kill, doesn't quite succeed. Throws out another one, again, doesn't quite succeed. One more blast from Red, and he'll get this hut. Go on, blast the hut. Blast the hut. Finish it off. No, that's the tower. Finish off the hut. A large hut as well. Go on, just blast it. Blast it. Yellow's warriors are going to be clearing up a Red brave. I don't know what he was doing there. I think he was looking for wood. And Yellow goes down to the Red shaman, provided the Red shaman doesn't get killed by this fire warrior pressure. Red shaman could get in here and do a bit of damage. And there you go. Finally, the hut went down. That's a large hut kill for free, man. Beautiful to see. We'll see double earthquake coming out of the Red shaman here without a shadow of a doubt. Oh, Red wants it. Red's getting greedy. He wants to go deeper still. He's going to get in among the large huts. Look at this. This is going to hurt. First earthquake. Red's not panic wasting either. There you go. In amongst the large huts again. Both earthquakes in amongst the large huts. Yellow shaman going down as Red secures the kill with the lightning. I think the Red shaman's now going to pull away with this game. Yellow just sustained so much damage. Red warriors are going to start pouring in. There are Yellow warriors in Red's base, but they're not being controlled very well. They're all in the same tower. And Red's just going to counter. Warrior count 8 for 15, so, you know, Red even has a warrior advantage. And look at the state of the Yellow base. 178 green bar to 110, 138 population to 63. I think our Red shaman is going to be the second player to advance to the semi-finals of Populous's Invisible Cup. Maybe Yellow can mount a miracle comeback and earn his place. But it definitely looks like Yellow is got an uphill battle, as Red is probably going to win this game. So, as I said, Tornado will go on to face the winner of Convert. No, this is Convert. Tornado will go on to face the winner of Boat versus Earthquake, whoever that may be. And Balloon, of course, waits in the semis for his opponent, which will be decided in tomorrow's set of games, actually. Tomorrow's set of games will be the games where we find out who will go on to face Balloon, who has been on an absolute tear. Balloon making his first opponent rage quit. He played so well. Look at these Red warriors. They're all over the Yellow base. Yellow's down to 31 population. And it's just falling still. 29, 28. GG for Yellow. Drops the double earthquake on himself. Says GG. That is the end of this best of 5. Game number 5 goes to Tornado. Tornado advances to the semi-finals. Fantastic play. We got some really good long games out of both of these players. So the matching must have been reasonably close to get a bit of a back and forth. But that is the end of this one.